got the boys together. Join us.
To do what?
Spank the bastards.
The Boys is an Amazon Prime TV series that was first aired in 2019. It has since gained massive airplay and much attention. Its viewers have unarguably been intrigued with its tail-twisting plot and unpredictable characters. In today's video, we'll be looking into an interesting countdown. We'll be looking at its top 5 most hated characters and top 5 most loved characters. Just before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on our amazing content. Also, do well to turn on post notifications so you know when we post a new video. Alright, let's get into it. The Boys is a TV show basically about superheroes, and for a show of its nature, it's expected that there are characters who aren't exactly appreciated and characters who are worshipped on the screen. If you are someone who is conversant and well-versed with the series, you'll most definitely understand everything we'll be talking about. The Boys is an extremely entertaining show that has caught the attention of many, mainly due to its not-so-regular storyline. In this series, the writers did really well by twisting the narrative, making the superheroes antagonists and villains. Amidst the underlying humor and flexibility of the story, one outstanding feature of this show is its relatable characters, which is what keeps the viewer and fans glued to it. From the Deep to Homelander, no character in this show is stagnant and complete, but some are more appreciated than others. Let's go right into the ranking of those who are most hated and those who are most loved. Here are the top 5 most hated characters. Number 5. The Deep. At the number 5 spot is the Deep. The Deep is one character that really works hard at ensuring he's hated on the screen. He's involved in a lot of things that make it really difficult to like him. Viewers have identified the height of his wickedness as pertaining to what he did to Annie. The Deep actually showed remorse for it, but it was a really disgusting and disappointing thing to do. It was a case of molestation. The Deep, a member of the Seven, is acclaimed as the King of the Seas by Vought. He always has on his helmet and claims that he can't remove it because of an Atlantean curse. Kevin Moskowitz, as is his real name in the show, is actually a man in a diving costume. His strengths and superpowers are flight, super strength, and stamina. Some may actually find him handsome, the ladies especially. Number 4. Translucent. Translucent is the 4th most hated on this list, and just as his name suggests, his superhero ability is in turning invisible. One thing that gets the viewers and fans of the show irritated by this character is his inability to make smart and swift decisions, exposing him to getting caught more often than not. He uses his super ability to carry out his dark and evil plans. Portrayed as an egocentric maniac, he sneaks into restricted places to obtain things he ought not to. Translucent is also a member of the Seven, and one thing many do not know about him is that he's a pervert, using his invisible character to sneak in on ladies when they are uncovered. Some viewers believe that he deserved the way he died, being killed by Huey. Number 3. Madeline. Madeline is the 3rd most hated character in the series. She's the one in charge of the Seven, and it's her dirty politics that makes her really hated by the viewers. Even though it's her responsibility to accrue as much profit for the company as possible, it is believed that she does it too rigidly. In the series, Madeline Stillwell happens to be the vice president of the hero management and a single mother to her only son, Teddy. Madeline was known to be in a relationship with Homelander and was killed by this same man in the season 1 finale because she was keeping things from him. Number 2. Ashley Barrett. The 2nd most hated character in this video countdown is Ashley Barrett. Viewers find it really pathetic that Ashley's life is centered around Vought. She wouldn't mind being involved in some dark activities just as long as she pleases her superiors in the process. Ashley was later on fired by Vought and then handed an open card for her to rejoin. Viewers had expected that she would turn down the offer, knowing the uglies and dark secrets of this company. She does the exact opposite by still choosing to go back. This action revealed a lot about her character. It's clear what her priorities are. Number 1. Ezekiel. The number 1 person in this category is Ezekiel. You may agree to this, and you may not, but we strongly believe that Ezekiel's character is regarded as one of the worst types of people in the world. Ezekiel is labeled as a fraud who loves to deceive people, hiding his true nature and personality. He appeals as a fraud in several ways. First, he poses as a Christian, which is false. He does that to encourage a religious agenda, just to enrich himself and Vought. He also hides his sexuality. He's a gay man who expresses his sexuality in secret so he can gain money and acceptance from others. The worst part is when he condemns others for also being gay. Now we move to the top 5 most loved characters in The Boys TV series. Number 5. Huey Campbell. Sitting at the 5th spot is Huey Campbell. Often called Wee Huey, he was raised in Scotland as an adopted child. He's viewed as a decent and honest guy who is always found at the center of unwanted trouble. After the death of his girlfriend Robin, he then finds some spark with Starlight. He's a part of the Boys group. They function by going after the strongest beings on the planet. Even though he was skeptical about joining the Boys, he joined eventually and wholeheartedly. Huey is just as nice as a human person should be. At number 4, we have Annie January, also known as Starlight. Starlight is a self-willed young lady who is a strong agitator of everything that is right. Annie is one character that is too easy to like. Her difficult start to fitting into the 7 is what makes her just as liked and relatable. Her underlining powers are flight and super hearing. Starlight was somewhat a Christian and a former member of the Young American Superhero Organization. She was disappointed when she saw the real configuration of the 7's members. She later discovered that she was brought in as an amusement for those superheroes. They made her do some silly things to get in and also gave her rather revealing costumes. Writer Ennis said about her character, "That was when I realized I wanted to take her in a different direction, make her strong and more rounded. I probably felt a bit guilty about Annie and ended up treating her a bit more responsibly as a result. She knows how to stand her ground and isn't afraid of speaking the truth. At some point, she stands against Black Noir and Homelander. Her relationship with Huey is one part of the show that fans and viewers look forward to a lot. I mean, what's a movie without a good romance?" Number 3. Mother's Milk. The third most loved character is Mother's Milk. MM is a very proactive member of the Boys group. He's an African-American man whose nickname was given to him simply because he was seemingly the purest and most genuine of all the other members. Another reason is that he was born with a condition requiring him to constantly need his mother's breast milk for him to survive. He actually found this disturbing over time. He's one character that thoroughly thinks about an action before carrying it out, which is one of the features that made the viewers love his character. He's also a family man that cares so much about his family and is very concerned and careful so that his actions wouldn't endanger any of his family members. The sad part is that it eventually does. Number 2. Billy. Billy is a man's man. You can't tell me otherwise. He's the man that brings the boys together. His faulty marriage was one of the things that gave him a traumatic past. He's neither a villain nor a hero. All he wants is to find the location of his beloved and reunite. He believes that her disappearance was a result of her meeting with Homelander. Billy uses humor to hide his real emotions and feelings, but inside, he knows who he really is. He's that man that would go to any length to get things done, irrespective of the consequences. He's neither a perfect nor noble man, and is surprisingly loved for his diabolical nature. He's an agitator of justice, who loves to surround himself with friends because God knows he can't do it on his own. He can be violent, selfish, and unhesitant to kill people just to achieve what he wants to. Amidst all of these, he's still very loved on screen. Number 1. Homelander. Love him or hate him, Homelander is one very influential character in the show. Despite this character's very obvious monstrous and destructive potentials, he has a kind of appeal that makes him very easy to like and even admire. In the midst of doing so many terrible things, Homelander is actually a very entertaining character. Fans and viewers certainly look forward to the day he faces justice for all of his crimes, but no one is actually too eager to see that day. He's the leader of the 7 and an obvious psychopath who does only what he deems fit. He's that villain that everyone loves. Ever watched a movie and preferred the antagonist to the hero? He's that kind of character. Some may argue that he's actually their most hated. With observation, he happens to actually be the most loved character in the series. If his character is taken away, something would certainly seem missing. He brings a kind of meaning to the show. He happens to be a patriotic superhero, who's also the most powerful created by Vought American. He's somewhat compared to the veteran Superman in terms of strength. If you were to be a superhero, which of these would you be? Comment your answer down below. I'm sure you enjoyed the video, so please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.